Hey guys, welcome to ReadIT, where I read it. Jokes aside. Today we have some r/AskReddit. And the user smud, get, emusa, is asking. What's that expensive item that's 100% worth it? A good desk chair for the home office. I bought a steel case, on sale, and my back is thanking me. My steel case chair I bought I think in 1971 lasted all of the way until 2007 when it finally broke while my co-worker was chair joisting with it. Great stuff. Absolutely. 10 years ago I bought a human scale freedom chair when I was contracting and making good money. I'd experienced one in a branch office of my previous employer and noticed that I still felt great at the end of the day. I made a mental note that they were worth the obscene price. I worked from home full-time for 4 years in it, and then it was my general computer chair at home after I went back to the office. Since last March it's been on full-time duty again, and it's still better than my chair at the office. It was the swan song of designer Niels Differing's career, and it shows. It has a simple, brilliant design and has proven very durable. I'm Canadian so this thing cost me nearly $1,200. I grew up poor and often struggle not to be cheap. But I spend every working day at a desk and I would buy another one of these in a heartbeat. Buy the best, and cry once. This is good to hear. I have a human scale chair by that designer on my wish list for next year. I'll be looking out for a sale when purchase time comes, but it's still a lot of money for a chair. So I'm glad to hear yours has lasted well. I'd love to get the chair this year, but the house needs new windows so all other big purchases are on hold until that's done. Luckily I have a standing desk and a kneeling chair so I can rotate through those when my current cheap chair starts hurting. My mattress. A big thick extra firm pocket sprung mattress and a dense, non-springy matching topper were one of the best purchases I ever made. An expensive, well-made bra. What do you recommend? I have gone braless for about 3 years. I think I was so tired of the cheap uncomfortable crap I was buying. I only wear sports bras to go work out. But I'd love a nice bra for when I need it. Good sheets. Good pillows. Good sleep stuff in general. Yes. I have a laptop from 2014 that has a HDD in it and it takes 2M, timed it, to boot up. I knew I couldn't use this junk for uni so I splurged for my uni laptop. I got the HP Envy 15X360 and it literally takes 10 to 11s to boot up when you hold the fingerprint down and you can immediately search up stuff rather than wait another 2M for Google to load. A good pair of shoes. Nothing extravagant, but a decently expensive pair will last for a long time. I read somewhere a while ago, a tip, that when you find a good pair of shoes that you really like, buy 2 pairs so that when one's absolutely ruined, you can start using the other. I had a pair. Smart/casual brown shoes, could wear with jeans or suit pants, great for work and heading down to the pub, absolutely wore the shit out of them. I've visited the shop where I bought them hundreds of times hoping to see them again, nope. The shop has now closed down every store in the country I currently live. Don't think I'll be finding those shoes again, sad face. A very good knife. It's more important to know how to sharpen a knife and how to keep its edge. I recently got a sharpening stone, watched some YouTube, and my 10-year-old dull knives are like new. I agree. Best knife I've ever had is a folding pocket knife from the 60s that an old man gave me when I was a kid in the 90s. I've used it for 30 years while camping, hiking, whittling/carving walking sticks, and general purpose things. Good spring, sharp as a razor, keeps its edge, etc. Finally looked up the brand price last week out of curiosity. Current sale price is around $10 to $15. But because I've taken care of it, it's lasted a long time and performed like a champ. I've been cooking professionally for 13 years roughly, and I couldn't agree with this more. However, I don't think an average home cook needs to be amazing at sharpening. If you buy a good quality knife, I recommend mid-range Wusthof for home cooks, around $60 CAD. Then buy a mid-range honing steel, and one of those knife sharpeners that you hold down to a counter and run the knife through. If you hand wash that knife, and hone it just before you use it each time, it should only need 5 to 10 pulls through the sharpener every few months, and will retain a close enough to factory edge that somebody who only cooks 1 or 2 meals a day would struggle to tell the difference unless side by side. Of course, if you trust yourself to use a sharpening stone, it's 100% worth the cost, and extremely easy to use. If you don't trust yourself to do proper angles, you can even buy a guide that clips onto the back of your knife, and does the angling for you. I got a few for $10 each and love them for training new cooks how to sharpen. Paying movers. If you are moving, and your budget allows, pay end-to-end movers to handle it. It is pretty expensive, depending on how much you have, but holy crap, when you have 2 young kids and all the clutter they accumulate, it's so worth it. Moving is already stressful and taxing enough. It eliminates a huge burden during a time when you need it most. I worked in logistics, and here's my professional advice when moving. Rent a storage space, plenty offer a first month for free. This allows you to start moving much earlier. Once you've packed something in a box, you can store it there. When it comes time to relocate, you can move stuff out of storage even at 3 a.m. without neighbors complaining, etc. Come moving time, you're paying for the truck by the hour. You don't have 10 rooms to load into the truck. You have one small room in a storage place, which is designed to allow trucks to be close to the space you're moving stuff from. Loading the truck takes far less time. Time is money, especially if you need to do several trips. You no longer need to move everything out of your old place in one day. You no longer need to move everything into your new place in one day. It avoids the need for bridge loans, as you wait to pay off the mortgage on one house while you already have a mortgage on the new house. You can now sell your house, then finalize the purchase of the new house a week or month later, while you stay in a hotel and most of your stuff is in storage. If you do decide to hire professionals, you give them a copy of the key or the key code and they can pick it up from the storage space, while you're at home watching TV or out eating dinner. Buy/find good boxes which are all the same size. This means you can stack them very easily. Odd-sized boxes and you end up with a pile that you can't make too high. Uniform size boxes and you can stack them to the ceiling of the van, 10 or more boxes high. Hire a van with a hydraulic loading ramp. If you really want to be hardcore, you can also palletize your stuff. Pallets can be hired, or you can buy end-of-life ones for cheap and then use them as firewood when you're done, as can a pallet lifter. You can load the entire moving truck in under 30 minutes that way. To give you an idea, I saved $15,000 doing it this way. That includes a few nights stay in a very nice hotel with great breakfast, essential after a tiring day. The only disadvantage was that unloading boxes with a bouncing loading ramp resulted in my having sea legs for a few days, expecting the ground to bounce like the ramp had. Pots/pans. You don't need to spend a lot of money on that. But anything is better than those unbranded shit in a random 99-cent store. They're cheap, but needing to change it every few months is gonna be annoying and the prices add up. You should buy a pot/pan that's gonna last at least 4 to 5 years and that you can use comfortably. My husband and I cook a lot of very intense recipes, and prior to COVID we regularly entertained. Here's what I've learned. Non-stick, buy one quality skillet. Expect to replace at first sign non-stick coating is degrading. Never use metal utensils. For me, I replace about every 5 years. Uncoated, brand isn't as important as making sure you get as much 18/10 stainless steel as you can per pan. They should feel very heavy and will last you decades. Cast iron, go to garage sale or flea market. Buy ugliest stuff for a few dollars. Watch YouTube to learn how to strip, resurface, and maintain. My favorite pan in my kitchen is a 10-in deep skillet that cost $3 and is over 100 years old. Splurge item. Enamel-coated cast iron Dutch oven. Buy once. Buy big. Make soup. Electric toothbrush. My gums have never felt so amazing and I don't have to do shit, just let the brush ride the waves. So, my wife works in a dental office, she got me a good electric toothbrush. Now when I go to get my teeth cleaned, every 6 months it's an easy work, because my teeth and gums are in great shape. Irish butter. Edit, holy crap. I can't believe how this has blown up. I should have mentioned Kerrygold by name, but I didn't know how widespread it was. What I love about it, besides of course the flavor and lovely color, is that it's softer. A divorce. Edit, well this blew up overnight. Yes, I got divorced. I spent a bunch of money on a good lawyer and was able to keep the house I paid for whilst also helping her with constant career changes to pursue her passion of the week over the 15 years we were married. After the way I was treated when she had her midlife crisis, money well spent. I'm a family law attorney, and I cannot emphasize your point enough. I have 6 to 7 cases right now where I'm working to undo what my client's former attorney encouraged them to accept to end their case. One of them agreed to pay $4,000 per month in alimony indefinitely when state guidelines would have only required $2,000 per month for 9 years. When I asked him why he ever agreed to that amount, he told me that his attorney told him that this was the best deal he would ever get. Do your research before hiring a divorce attorney. The Dyson Animal V-Series, not the ball. It's cordless, strong, lightweight and easy to maneuver. Office/desk chair. So comfortable. Totally changed my WFH game for the better. Paint. Seriously. Like 1 to 1.5 coats and you're done. I just did an almost white/green on top of dark gray and it took no time at all. Didn't even need primer. Airplane seats with extra legroom. And I have the Dyson vacuum, and trust me, it's worth every penny, the best vacuum I have ever had. Good paint is so worth it. I spent years living in apartments where the walls got damaged if you looked at them wrong. When I bought my house I had most of the interior painted, and I splurged on Benjamin Moore paint, which is not super high-end but better than most. I have seriously slammed sharp corners of furniture into the walls and not even left a scratch. It's amazing. The 2 rooms still done in discount warehouse paint from the previous owners do not hold up nearly as well, and will be repainted soon. Plus, as someone who hates painting and is terrible at it, good paint is much easier to apply and doesn't need as many coats, so it is way less work. A pair of good wireless earbuds. Was used to wearing $20 Australian dollars headphones from Kmart. They were horrible. I saw these earbuds that my friend owned on sale for $150 from $250. Bought them and have no regrets. The sound quality is way better and they are so damn comfortable. Also the convenience to have them in your pocket is just amazing. 10/10 would recommend. They were the Jabba Elite Active 65T, by the way. Not sponsored, but Jabba, please sponsor me and my 0 viewers. Keep in mind, youngins, that I'm in my 50s. Not long after my divorce, in the summer of 2007, I bought a used Porsche Boxster. I was 40 years old and I'd always had an A to B car during our marriage. My wife stayed at home with our 3 kids. She always had new cars as they were our family cars. She had SUVs, minivans, etc. It wasn't a midlife crisis, it was simply getting divorced and realizing I'd never had a car I wanted. While we were going through our divorce in 2005, I went to trade my used, old car in, and guess how much I got for it? $300, as it was just the car I drove to work and back, as we used her car for vacations, to shop, to go places as a family, etc. I knew I didn't want to be divorced and only have that car, so I bought myself a new Honda Civic while we were going through our divorce. It was the lowest level Civic. I had to lock and unlock the doors manually, I had to roll my windows up manually, but I did have air conditioning and a single disc CD player. 7 months later I said fuck it and I traded it in for a used, 2000 model Boxster. I still have the thing. It's a nice weekend car I've enjoyed for a long time now. I wish we never would have divorced. I'd never had that car if that was the case, but we did, and eventually I decided to get a car I wanted, so I bought it after my divorce. Hey, thank you watching. Remember to like, subscribe, touch the bell, comment, do 3 jumping jacks, tell your mom you love her, don't forget the dad. See you later, alligator.